Good morning, Jill here with Hillbilly Jilly's Garden, canning, vegetables, a little bit of everything. Today we're going to show you how to make homemade queso from the garden. Queso here in Texas is a staple at any party, any family gathering. We have it year-round, but right now is the time when we can use our garden fresh vegetables, non-GMO, organic, no pesticides, no herbicides, and we're going to show you how to do this. I have a couple of tomatoes here. I have a bell pepper. We're not going to use the whole thing. We're going to use a little bit. I've got onion. I've got a jalapeno, and I've got green chilies that I roasted from last year. And we're going to show you how to roast your green chilies here whenever they come to fruition. I have some Velveeta, and I have salsa that I made yesterday. So if you want to find out how I made that salsa, please go back and look at my video, and you'll see it's fresh. Okay, we're getting ready to rock and roll here. I've got a couple of tomatoes sliced up. We put them in bigger slices because they will reduce once we put them in the saucepan to make everything merge. I've got one small onion, I have one jalapeno, and I have about a half of a clove of garlic. I've got my green chilies that I roasted and froze from last year, and I got probably a half of a small red bell pepper. I am going to introduce some of my salsa that I made yesterday, and then I have Velveeta cheese. I have all my vegetables in my saucepan. I am not going to add water because these will reduce down and create their own liquid and their own water. I also added about 2 heaping tablespoons of my homemade salsa I made yesterday. Go back to my video if you want to know how to make that. It is completely delicious. So we're going to turn this on about medium and let it start stewing a bit. This is starting to break down a little bit. I can tell you it smells delicious. I can smell all the fresh vegetables. Everything. I can smell the bells and the jalapenos. I can smell the onions and the tomatoes, the garlic. Everything smells wonderful. I've turned the heat up to high a little bit to get it going, and then I'll reduce it back down to medium once I start seeing it break down a bit. You can see quite a bit of liquid starting to come out. It's starting to get a little bit of a boil. I'm going to let it do this just a couple of, probably about 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to reduce it. I've reduced it down to medium heat, and you can see that there's still a rolling boil there, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit more, and I'm going to let this simmer maybe about 30 or 45 minutes. I want the vegetables to all come down and mesh together and create the flavors that I'm looking for my queso, so we'll check back with you shortly. I've brought this down to a low simmer. Again, I'm going to let this keep going for about another 20 or 30 minutes. As I'm letting it simmer, I noticed that I didn't smell much of the pepper smell, so I've added another jalapeno in there. It all depends on your taste. We like a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a hot flavor to it. So that'll be up to you as you're making your salsa or as you're making your queso. You want to make sure and just kind of give it a taste test, give it a smell test, and you can find out if you think it's going to have enough heat for you. You may notice some skins in there from the tomatoes starting to peel away. We don't mind that. The skins have a lot of vitamins in them, and that's where you'll find a lot of the nutrients. So we are going to go ahead and leave the skins in there, but if you do not want skins in your queso, then you can use blanched tomatoes, and we'll probably do a video on that too and show you how to blanch and freeze them. I have about 1.5 pounds of my Velveeta cheese chopped up. We may need a little more, we may need a little less. I've put it into square blocks, and we will melt it and see how we go. This is the finished product of everything simmering for about 30-35 minutes. So let's get started. I'm stirring in my Velveeta. As you can see, it's starting to thicken, starting to get the queso color. Starting to thicken up. It's looking really, really good. I haven't gone through the full 1.5 pounds yet. So we're going to hold off and wait and see what this turns out like when it starts to completely melt. It's almost fully melted, so I'm going to stop at about 1.25 pounds of the Velveeta because this is the consistency I like. If you want a little bit thicker queso, you can go ahead and add more. Or if you want a little bit thinner, you can add less. Okay, it's done. It's important to know that I did not increase my heat on my burner. I just let the cheese melt naturally and the mixture that I had already simmered. And this is the consistency I like. So we're going to pour this into a bowl and enjoy. Okay, this is our finished product. We have our chips and we have our queso that we're fixing to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe to our channel. We've got lots more recipes coming up. Take care and God bless.